Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Good Earners reviewing The Sopranos. And here on Good Earners, we like to talk about family, finessing, finances, and feelings in the world of Tony Soprano, bringing you a new perspective, a fly perspective, and a black perspective. For those that are on YouTube, you can obviously see it's two out of the three of this triune, this trio. It's me in Big Rich Town. Spike Lee, we had to send him down to Miami to check on Ralph Cifaretto. So, make sure everything is working out there.
Checking on, he kicking it with Beansy.
He kicking it with Beansy out there. He just double checking.
Having stories about the old days. Remember when?
Yes, exactly. Having stories about the old days, man. So we wasn't gonna leave y'all without that episode. We're just so close to the Made in America that it's like we're at that point, like, bro, no days off right now. We in a full grind, full cooking mode, and so we decided to do a Back of the Bing episode. I know a lot of people look forward to those. For those that probably already seen Sopranos, look forward to some others, the other side of the discussions that we'll have. So there could be spoilers. There may not be spoilers, depending on where we want to take it. We'll kind of leave it free flowing. But before we get into that, Rich, how you doing, bro?
I'm doing well, man. I think we need to determine if there's gonna be spoilers or not, so people know if they want to start listening or not. Let's say there will be spoilers.
Okay. There will. Here's what here's what I do. Whatever the question is, if it's something that hasn't been addressed already in where we are in our review, I will tell them like at that point. And then there's some stuff I might be like, we'll leave it there. So there's a possibility for spoilers, put it that way. But there will be a disclaimer if we're doing it. But this episode, we're doing Sopranos Mysteries. This is obviously we're pulling from Reddit. That's a great source of this type of content. Shout out to Spike and Rich when they did it for that time that I was gone, in the midst of having our son. Actually, it's funny, the unpopular opinion, I went back, I said, I think they talked about it. I looked back, I said, oh, they did talk about it. Unpopular opinion. I think it might be our second one that I did during that time. So we are on our 9th Back of the Bing. So,
yeah, I think I've been a part of all of them. I think I have not missed the Back of the Bing.
Yeah, me and Spike have never done it. Yeah, see, look,
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. See, that's something you got on both of us, like. Yeah. So y'all
got season 1 and early season 2. I got Back of the Bing.
Yeah, you do, and I still be hot about the fact that I couldn't be in that draft though. Like I'm like, man, I wish I would have been in that, because that was like y'all was cooking so crazy. I was like, boy, I can't wait to get out of this hospital and get home with our son, because I'm ready to get back.
I'm still upset about I didn't think it through until it was all.
Oh yeah, that Jackie Senior, bro.
Yeah, the Jackie Senior right there, man. That was it. Reminisce, man.
What is that, like the Chicago Bulls? Like, what is it, like the Chicago Bulls or somebody?
Nah, Spike built a nice roster.
Yeah, but we did do, but I did feel good about what we did when we did If the Sopranos Were Black and we recast it.
That was fun.
That was really fun.
That was you talked about early before we started recording.
Yeah.
Favorite moments to be a part of as far as podcast, and that was one. Like
that was so
my movie love, and then black films and all of that, just crossing everything over with the Sopranos. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. That really was. I will say this too, because I always, that's one of those ones, kind of like how you are with Jackie Senior's. Like, I wish I would have thought about that more, about Godfather of Harlem. It didn't even. I always say it every time, but I did not think about Forrest Whitaker in that sense, which obviously I had like a runner-up was Michael Beach. But I thought about a third person as of recently, because I've been watching House of Lies. I said, you know what? I mess around, might consider Don Cheadle. Maybe for Tony. Again, he's not. I know he's not the same in stature. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's pulling it off. Like I'm watching House of Lies, and he's pulling it off. Like I think Don Cheadle would say this, but like he's not like this. He doesn't have this everyday look that you would look like, oh, he pulling them or whatever. But the way his charm is and the way he carries it, you believe some of these beautiful women would be involved with him because of the way he carries it. And I'm like, that's Tony. Even rest in peace to James Gandolfini. Like can you believe they like this mug? How he carries it though. Like women was like probably really attracted to him because of that charm and how he carried it. Not to say that these are not attractive people. It's just everybody is not a Shamar Moore, or for those that are not black, Brad Pitt. Everybody's not a Tom Cruise. So it's like, to carry it with that charm, we're like, oh, they getting it off. So the way Don Cheadle's doing the House of Lies, bro, I'm really impressed with this show. I can't believe I didn't know about it.
You bring up two good points. One, not all characters have to fit the stature, but sometimes it's just who can play this role. It just so happens that James Gandolfini, and remember early seasons, he was much thinner. He was obviously a looming person.
Still,
he didn't seem small. He didn't, Don Cheadle was skinny. He's a skinny guy just by genetics.
Yeah.
But I like that choice. I was trying to think of who else he would play, what my first thought would be, and I was thinking
could be Johnny.
He would have been a perfect. I'm talking about like Devil in a Blue Dress, Don Cheadle. He would have been a perfect Chris.
Yeah, that one right there. Yeah. Maybe even ice pick a little bit, like.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Did you know they had a spinoff that didn't work? Did you know that? It's a sidebar.
What's that?
With his character from Fresh Prince, they had a spinoff, and it ended up.
Nah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had
tell me something new.
In the House or something like that, but like they did a spinoff with Ice Pick, which obviously was Don Cheadle on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when he came in town. But it got the pilot shot and it's on YouTube, but it ended up not. I'm a big fan of like failed spinoffs. I don't know why. I like to know like the inner workings of people trying to, like Pam from Martin.
The backdoor pilots and all that stuff.
Yeah, I love stuff like that.
Nah, that's dope. That's a whole lane that could be discussed for another time.
Yeah, we go do. I told you, I know we ain't in that zone just yet, but I'm putting both y'all feet to the fire when we get all three of us. I'm serious about like, yo, let's really map out our spinoffs. Like what we would create that we go outside of the box. I really want to do that. I think the listeners will have fun with that, doing our own Soprano spinoffs. And shout out to the listener that emailed us a little bit ago with the chat GPT spinoffs, so we'll come back to that. But as for today, we're talking Sopranos mysteries. Now, we're not going to do emails because I want Spike to be a part of this as well. I think it would be a disservice to not have him with the emails at this point, at being so close. And if y'all wonder why I sound like this, is not my normal luxurious voice. It's because of Artie Bucco. I tried something new at Vesuvio's, and I should have went to Giovanni's. And so
my normal luxurious voice. Hey,
I've been told this a time or two. I've been told this a time.
Hey, listen, I ain't mad at you. You got the voice, man. You got the voice.
Nah, I appreciate
it's
it.
It's just funny.
No, but seriously,
you ever seen Talk to Me? Speaking of Don Cheadle, you ever seen Talk to Me?
No, I've seen the previews of that. He had the fro in that joint, right?
Yeah. It was just Cedric the Entertainer had a role as one of the radio hosts, and that was his thing, the voice.
Oh, the voice matters.
He said that too, like it's the voice. Hey man, what can I say? It's the voice.
Hey, come on,
when you said it. Yeah. When you said I've been told that, it reminded me of that movie.
They call me. But but we're doing Sopranos mysteries. So without further ado, let's get into it. So I pulled a few from Reddit. Y'all can find them as well if y'all want to look them up. Y'all can always chime in, goodearnthepod@gmail.com or whatever. But this first one, if I'm pronouncing it right, he has a few that were on Reddit from Ockcond. The first thing, did Ralph really burn the stable or not? We could be funny with this. We could be serious. However we want to take it, Rich. Of course, I'm going to throw the ball in your court first. We spoke a little bit about this before, but since we're actually in a more focused conversation and we got time for it, why not?
Okay. So you sent the list over, and I glanced at it, and I didn't do too much deep diving because I wanted everything to be authentic. I'm holding true. See, we started with a crazy one because my gut. Here's the thing. Here's how I'm going to say this. My gut's telling me that Ralph did not burn that stable.
Your gut is saying he did not.
My gut tells me he did not. Right?
Wow, yeah.
Here's the interesting thing, though. Ralph plays both sides so well, no pun intended.
Yeah.
that he. That's a natural feeling he gives. You never know. And I think that's exactly what Ralph is. I think that emotion that I have would describe the character of Ralph perfectly. Like, you know better. I know better. Like, I know that Ralph really did it, but for some reason, I don't think he did in this situation. I don't know what it is. It's just instinct. I don't want to believe it, but I know he did. So I guess my answer is yes, he did. He did burn it down, but for some reason, I believe that he didn't. I don't know. It's kind of weird to explain. I just think the way the argument with Tony in the kitchen at his house, I genuinely think that he was a little bit perplexed as to why he was making such a big deal about this.
Yeah.
And even when his life was on the line, like, so when it's at the point of life or death, there's a of course I'm going straight to the wire. There's a point where Brother Muzon was telling Avon about Omar, like, he doesn't strike me as a man that lies, even when he's facing death. I don't know, but at the same time, Ralph wouldn't have anything to do if he did admit it at that time. It was already taken there. I think he would have taken let me take that back. And like I said, this is me thinking this out in real time. I think that Ralphie would have taken pleasure if he knew it was going there anyway. Him and Tony was already in it, and like one of us ain't leaving here. I think he would have taken pleasure in telling him, "Yes, I killed him. You fat fuck," or doing something like that.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't think he did. I don't think he did.
I don't
think he did.
Think about it. Look at the joy, unfortunately. Look at the joy he had when Silvio grabbed up Tracy. Like the laughing. He's laughing through the window.
And I'm about to say, he by himself. That's how you know you sick.
Again, he's sick. He's laughing at he's laughing, hitting, Georgie in the eye with a chain. Like he's sick, man. He's sick. So it's like there's pleasure in when he does these things that are really dark. Even, I'm not gonna say even pleasurable when he killed, unfortunately, Tracy, but like he came in, it was just like he just shrugged it off. Like, oh yeah, she shouldn't be such a klutz. You know what I mean? So when it comes to the horse, like, bro, I told y'all, and I preface this, I think there's something about adolescents and children and Ralph having to grow up so fast. He had different plans for life. I told y'all through our review with season 3 to 4. And so, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's an original thought, right?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
That's that's what I thought. Yeah, I remember when you said that, and I've always been fascinated ever since.
Well, so
just your observation on it.
Well,
you explained it perfectly.
Oh yeah,
I'm always amazed at how you even. That's something I've never thought of as much as watching it. You're absolutely right. Every single time I think of those things.
So it kind of resonates to you, like I kind of see it in that angle a little bit, because it's like the way he is about with kids, like he has and so for me, I think when his son was in the hospital, I think his whole world shifted because of that thing. So I don't think his mind was ever even on, like, he's collecting the envelope, giving it to, Tony or whatever, and they're like, man, look at this guy, his kid in the hospital still earning. I think when Ralph, when he whacked Tracy, he was going. There's an argument: was it his baby? Wasn't his baby? Wasn't it his baby? It kind of leaves you in the same position as: did he kill Pyomai or didn't he kill a Pyomai? Right. So for me, I think that the irony of it all is this is the one time Ralph didn't do it, because he was just so struck by his son being he just did not recover. I don't feel like he came out of that space and say, oh, let me get vengeance on Tony and then let me go back to that space. Like, like, my kid is in the freaking hospital. Like, so what? It's a freaking horse. Like, I just don't think that his mind got there yet. Like, if he had more time to recover and deal with things, his son was getting better, maybe he say, oh, I got something for his ass. But I just don't feel like, I feel like that's the one time out of all of the evil deeds Ralph does, I feel like that's the one time he didn't do it. And this was like supposed to be a seed for later, which we just talked about. Remember when, like Tony didn't. Imagine if Tony did Paulie like he did Ralphie. He didn't have evidence. He didn't have evidence that Paulie did it either, but he probably had a little more evidence Paulie did.
And that's yeah, and that's if he did Paulie like that, he did Ralphie, that would have been nuts. Because what Paulie did, as messed up as it wasn't nearly on the level of burning the horse. I mean, and we talked about this as well. That was personal. It wasn't anything to do with really business in the family. That was a personal thing because Tony was upset about that horse.
Yeah.
The same way it was personal when he punched him over Tracy.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's not related to you by blood or marriage.
Shout out to Silvio. So yeah, we both were going
great Soprano days.
Great Soprano. Yeah, man. I reminisce on that a lot, actually. So yeah, we both said no. So did Ralphie really burn the stable or not? We both were saying no. Our next one. Did Gloria slash her own tires? I think this is from the from Pine Barrens. The B plot, I believe. with Tony and her.
Was that Pine Bears?
I think it was.
Episode?
I think it was because we got a lot of time over there. It's underrated because we focus so much on Paulie and Chris, but there's a lot of time on this side. I think she did slash her tires. So I never felt that there was another, unless Gloria really had enemies that like, because obviously when you slash the tires in that direction, like it was spoken of, nah, like she's manipulative enough to do that. She threw a stake at Tony. So I wouldn't hold it past her to slash her own tires. So I think she did.
I was looking up the episode. I'm still looking for it, but nah, that's probably an easy one for me. 100%. She slashed her own tires. I know a lot of people like to say Irina might have done it, but Irina just, first of all,
right.
She's not getting the drop on Tony. Like if she was following, because she had no way to know about Gloria and where she lived. If she had the drop on Tony, he would have picked up on that. Like there's no way she's following him. I don't even know if Irina drove. Like that's just not happening. Like Gloria did that because that's who Gloria is. And she wants that attention. And she knew what was going to happen from it. So that's an easy call. Like 100% Gloria did that.
Yeah, she was like, if you leave, I'm gonna tell your wife. Like just like flat out. Like you know,
that's a desperate. Listen.
Yeah.
Desperation makes people do crazy things.
Absolutely. All right. Next one.
P always brings that up, talking about I forget what movie that is. With Quavo and Chloe Bailey. It's like a gospel movie. I forget it came out.
Quavo's in a gospel movie?
Yeah. But he was talking about he mentioned something to a character and said, I don't like working with desperate people because desperate people do whatever. Like there's really no integrity.
Yeah.
Like you trying to get it how you live.
No loyalty.
So yeah, 100% Gloria.
Okay. So we're in agreement in that. Next thing he has, what about the Easter baskets?
The Easter baskets.
So Chris, they was in the back of the Bing. I forgot what Tony was about to talk to Chris about, but he was like, is this about the Easter baskets? And Tony pretty was like, bro, I don't even want to know what you're talking about. So it's just one of those things like, what about these Easter baskets? What are we to infer? I mean, we could make up our own narrative. They didn't give us anything else.
All right. So the first thing that comes to mind is some kind of racket involved in the church, which is not foreign to them as we see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The real question is, what are they doing with these Easter baskets and how do they benefit from them? Because they have to make money. They're not getting in a racket without any money. I don't think they're throwing any festivals or any kind of. I don't know. That's a great. I don't know.
I know
I have
it
no
is.
idea. That's random. Have you given any thought to it?
Well, since you were kind of going down the line, I think Chris might have got them Easter baskets to get enough to get some drugs.
So, just enough. Like, what is he gonna do? Sell them?
Sell them. Like, hey, I got these Easter baskets for the kids. On the side of the road. He got cigarettes. Got cartons of cigarettes. So it's like, that's how I feel. Because I'm like, you can't do a ton with Easter baskets. Maybe you got drugs off of this or something. Like, I don't know.
Nah, that's fair because I tried to make some. I tried to make some big scenario, and sometimes it's as simple as that. Like, listen, we just came up. We have to remember, these dudes are hustlers.
Yeah.
Like, if we can find something that we can sell, we're gonna sell it. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's vitamins, cigarettes, Easter baskets. Like, there can be a profit to be made from it. We gonna
remember Chris season 1
again with the vitamins.
Again with the fight right here. Let me just. But Chris even season 1. Remember, he's the FedEx truck was open and he stole those antique watches and stuff.
Yeah, that's what they do. Remember how excited they were when they. The Vipers.
Yes, stole the Vipers. The Vipers. But yeah, so who knows? It's just one of those things. Another one was Pussy wearing a wire during the Santa suit thing in the 90s.
Hold on real quick. We got to back up just a tad bit.
Okay.
All right. Just because I was curious and I started Googling about the Easter baskets. Pokemon cards.
Oh, what was in it?
Yeah, talking about things that were in it. Pokemon stars, lame stuff, multivitamins, picnic coolers, something to make a quick buck. Not too much. Not too much. All right.
But the Pokemon cards, speaking of Big P, like he talked about the Pokemon cards. I think that was important.
Yeah. Pokemon.
The Pokemon.
Pokemon. Yeah. Well, speaking of Big P, that's a perfect transition.
So Big P, was he wearing a wire when he had the Santa suit on in the 90s?
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Like, there's nothing about that that makes me think that he didn't. I think that his demeanor, the way he was acting during that whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me back up. I'm trying to get my memory straight because when he came in drunk, are you asking was he wearing the wire then?
Yeah, like that whole time
at
when
that
he had
moment.
that Santa suit on, like because he was drunk in it too. Because the timeline is always like a hard reference. Because I'm like, how long has he been a rat? Kind of like.
I think that was fresh, and I think that he was just popped with the H. And I think that was him reacting to knowing that he's been caught up in. He didn't stand tall. He didn't stand tall when the time. Remember what Paulie said the last episode? When it's my time, will I stand up?
Yeah.
Whenever it was.
Yeah.
He didn't stand up when it was his time. And I think he was getting hammered. I think he was getting fucked up because of that. I don't know if he necessarily had a wire on, but I can't remember that scene verbatim to know what was being discussed and how he was acting. I remember the hugs and he was trying to get everybody to chill, but that might just be someone who's not trying to be fucked with because I got a lot on my mind right now. I'm not trying to do all that. And I think as David Chase does, just makes it ambiguous and it's up for interpretation on what you thought. And I love it. I think it's beautiful because it has conversations like this 25 years after the show is airs. I don't think he did. I just think that I think that was the moment he found out.
He got
and
flipped.
I think that was fucked up. And I think mentally he might have already been preparing himself to not be friendly with these guys because he knows what he has to do to save himself and his own family. And even the chaos of I just turned on my brothers. Like, damn, I never thought because we listen, no one ever thinks they're gonna do the fuck shit until the fuck shit arises.
That's true.
Then they really would, there's a lot of people that's this and that, but when those lights are on and it's time to make that decision, they fold. Yeah. Not a lot of people are who they really say they are in the crunch time. Not the easy moments.
No, you're right.
But in the crunch time. And I think he was dealing with a lot of that. I don't think he had it all. What say you?
I'm with you. I think that they knew he was a big fish, no pun intended. And they're gonna send him right back out in the street. And so it's like we're not gonna see. I feel like when they trust their informant, they trust him, give him some time. You're gonna come back and report, similar to a Eugene Pontecorvo, as well as a Jimmy. So I think they throwing him back on the streets immediately. I don't feel like he had a wire immediately. Like I feel like the wire is like, okay, you forced us. We have no choice now. Now we got to put a wire on you because you're not being cooperative. You're wasting our time. You seen that aggressive FBI agent with Adriana, like when he was getting real mad about like you ain't gave us shit. Like he was really getting mad. So I feel like the wire becomes a thing. Was like, okay, we can't trust. You're just buying time. You're getting all of the benefits of an informant. So at that time, I don't think so. I think I'm with you. I've always thought he did, but I think the turnaround flip where he I don't think so. I don't think at the time. I think the wire thing became, I think the first time he wore a wire was when we see the wire around that time, because that's why I think he was crying so much. Because it's like, it got for real to him. Like, it's like, damn, I really, like he's crying in there. She's like, I need to get his wife. I need to get in the bathroom. And he, I think at that point it was like, okay.
But then I think about people like Ray. Remember, Ray was volunteering the wire. Like, you need me to be at this place, I'll wear a wire there too. Like,
yeah.
I think at the funeral, like I can do all of that. And I'm trying to, because as you were speaking, I was thinking of, will they jump out the gate with a wire? I don't think so. I think it's one of those like, all right, then we'll be in contact. Just keep your eyes open, your ears open, you report back. And then once P, I would imagine how it works is once P reports something that could be going down, or remember, they're running their own investigation too. So they hear things through the pipeline, which lets them know if P's telling the truth or not, or any of their informants for that matter. So I wonder if there was a moment, if P says something or they heard something, that's when they would kind of combine and say, all right, we need you to wear a wire during this. I think similar to Adriana, she wasn't always was she asked to wear a wire from jump?
No.
She was just getting questioned, right? So I think, I don't think he was wearing a wire then.
Every time he checked in with the guy, he never like, oh, here's the recordings. Like he didn't.
You said it perfectly. It got real to him once he had that wire, and that was a whole nother thing because that's something tangible, right?
Yeah.
That's a tangible piece of information. Like you being a rat and working with the feds, that's something you know. You know, there's no proof of it unless you slip up or there's an inside person that's working with Tony and them. A wire, that's proof. That's tangible. You can touch that.
Now you know. Now you know what team you're on.
Exactly.
Because it's real great. He's at the barbecue in season 2. You know, got the back surgery, lost weight. He's at the barbecue season 2. They singing the song and stuff with the boys, and it's still great now. He's still with Tony, and he wants. Yeah, you remember like I forget Shirley. That's her name. I can't remember what they would sing. Y'all know what I'm talking about though. But they was like, he's like that Saint Bernardo. That's my wife. You know that whole thing, and you know he's like, you know, Tony called him the idiot or whatever. But like that whole thing, and then, like Tony asking him to talk with AJ. This is your godfather. This is your great uncle. Whatever he had, his position was. Like he's still in the gray. He's still reaping the benefits until, you know, they bring in a Furio, and then he starts insulating and moving him out, and that's when he starts to realize Tony knows. You know, and then you know things change now. Now you don't have nothing to offer, and
Pete was trying to be a fed. He said, "Yeah, I can join the team." I'm like, nigga, get the fuck up out of here,
bro. You've whacked people, bro. Hey, shout out to JT Dolan. Just put it. You're in the mafia.
Good old JT, man.
Good old JT. I can't wait to get.
It's funny. That's one of those characters that you always forget his last scene until it comes up, and it's like, oh shit.
It's sad, real sad. It's sad, bro. It's sad. I know. There ain't no sympathy from you or Spike, obviously, but
it's fucked up. Like it
is. It's just like
we'll have the conversation when we get there.
When we get there, I've seen some YouTube stuff. I follow like a lot of different YouTube Soprano joints, and when they make sense of it, I'm like, okay, he kind of had to, but no, like
it's just. I think that's a representation for.
These guys poison everything.
Classism. Classism, man. I just think that there's a certain people, and not even in the sense of like economically, but just who you are, how you view the world, right? Guys like you, guys like JT, this stuff happens to you.
Yeah.
Like just I don't even want to say it. That's fucked up.
I know. I know.
And but it's sad because not only that, it's sad because it was another crash out.
Yep. I said the wrong thing at the wrong time.
Yeah, it could have been avoided. Like, yeah, man. Either way, man. We can keep going.
Well, there was one he had. Did Barry Hadu really kill Dickie Moltisanti? Obviously, this was before Many Saints in Newark, so we already know. Obviously, no. I think it would have been more interesting though if they didn't go with the junior angle. But this other one, did Chris follow Juliana to the 12?
Hold on. Let's back up. Let's back up.
All right.
Why did he need to die?
Why the who? Because Tony said so. He said, remember, he said,
I know, but I know. But
oh, that's the better question.
The question is, what we never found out as viewers.
Okay.
We know who he is, like a cop, but why did he have to actually die? Who hired Tony to kill him?
Somebody
don't really get into the police, killing police business.
Tony
it feels like a hit.
Tony owed somebody in the feds.
I don't think. You think that's a Fed decision?
I think Tony got people on the inside working for him.
The Feds got them jackal motherfuckers, bro. Them in and out. Them niggas that Sosa sent to Scarface house at the end. They got them. Like, yeah, you ain't leaving this situation. I don't think
but we look at the Asian Harris.
Yeah, but I don't.
I'm not saying that's what this is, but I'm saying they like remember Paulie when they had the executive game. Remember Paulie get pulled over by the police officer, and then he was like he put the gun to him. And he was just like, and we thinking like, oh, now Paulie about to shoot this police officer. And he was like, oh, he's working with them.
Yeah, but the police, I think the police. I don't think the feds would do that. I don't think they operate that. Now the local police department, 100%. I think it was somebody
A New York connection?
I don't know. Somebody wanted him going. It could be a New York connection. It's a mob shit. Maybe it's not even. Nah, it's a mob shit. I don't think.
Dude, it ain't for no reason.
Yeah, but when you think about like the badge and how that brotherhood is, I couldn't see that happening unless it was somebody with extreme connection. So it was definitely somebody else. No different than when they get outside help, or we've seen them be asked to handle certain situations, whether it be Johnny Sack or whether they have to go handle it themselves when it comes to Johnny Sack. Because it went both ways. Because remember, they almost took him out of there.
Yeah. My question is,
I'm just wondering who did it. Like who he did it and why. Like what did he do? And how that might reveal how sick Tony is.
He probably owes some money. He might owe some money.
Or did Tony think that story was real too? Because there's no way he knows what really happened.
Oh well, yeah, right. Obviously, Many Saints reveals that.
So maybe is there a chance that Tony believed that that's real?
It could be. I mean, it might have been rumored for years, and he might have been insulated because he's so respected in that you can't really get to him, and now he's retiring. You know.
Yeah, I don't believe that. By the way, I think Tony knows the truth.
Well, here's my thing: does Tony even have to use like? Remember, Chris killed for Tony season 1, and he didn't ask him to.
Yeah, I think that's a different Chris though.
What season? This season 3. This season 3, Chris, though, ain't it? This is after he's made or before he's made. Because Bobby now in the scene. Because Tony and Bobby are eating.
I feel like it's an early season.
I think it's 3 though.
Yeah, no, it's definitely 3. I'm just trying to think of when. Well, let's see. Let's look this up in real time. And we got the internet, right?
Yeah, that was something we was puzzled even then, you know, and we still haven't really decided if we see Many Saints as.
That was season 4.
Season 4. Okay, I knew it was 3 or 4.
So yeah, he was already made.
Okay, so. Okay. Well, I don't know. It's one of the. I think I like how you flipped that though.
It's something to think about. Like I said, I don't.
Yeah, what's the significance of this guy? Like, seriously,
who is he? Like, well, seriously, yeah, I want to know that. Who is he? What's going on? What's his story?
Yeah,
like and I'm a big fan. I've said it before on any film or television podcast. If you ever heard me on anything else, just that idea of being dropped in the world.
Yep.
And just not knowing. I'm always a big fan. This is very obscure, but one of my biggest tropes in film and television is the coming in the middle of a joke, right before the punchline, right at the punchline of a joke. I always want to know the rest of it.
Like, what was the whole setup? How'd you get there?
Yeah, what was the whole setup? Like, there in Dumb and Dumber, right? In Dumb and Dumber, there's a moment when he's having his dream. He's like, no, but that's a really nice ski mask, and the whole room start getting weak. And I'm like, damn, what was the setup for that's a really nice ski mask, and everybody laughing?
And Sopranos do that a lot. Remember, we talked about that, like the whole 90-pound mole, like that. We were like in the middle of days, like, that's somebody's wife.
They was cooking.
Yeah, it's like that's somebody's wife. Like, bro,
they was cooking Jenny shit.
Nah, they was cooking Jenny crazy in a Bing, bro. Like that's when they right before Johnny was like, bro.
Johnny came been mad as hell, bro.
Ah man, what was y'all talking about?
Nothing.
Did Chris follow Juliana to the 12-step meeting they agreed to go to when they broke up at the dinner, or did he just bail?
Nah, that nigga bounced. Nigga said, I'm out, man. I'm already high.
Yeah, he wouldn't got high. He wouldn't got high.
Were they already? Nah, they weren't, because they just left the
diner, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you like, should I ride with you? Or it was like, we'll go separately. And then separately, I think at that point, like, yeah, Chris wouldn't got high.
Yeah, Chris wasn't dealing with her. So everybody know that separately. Man.
She knew too, though. She was.
I'll meet you there.
Yeah.
That's like when the fellas ask you to come out, I'll meet y'all there. Yeah, all right.
Bro, if a nigga hit me with that, I'll meet you there. I'm like, bro, are you coming or not? Like, I'm gonna get. That's the next text.
I feel like that's exactly what you would say,
bro. Because I don't do that. Like, I'm not the person to be like, oh, Well, you know how he is. When he say that, you know what he really mean. Nah, I'm gonna make you say what you really mean. that's me, so I could get confirmation. Oh, okay, cool. I got it.
That's hilarious. That's
like
that's
you say it all the time. Say what you mean the first time.
Yep. Hey, that's on. Yeah, but that's on brand for you. That's what makes it even more.
Oh yeah, I was like, hey, bro, stop playing. You coming or not?
Hey man, we ain't got to do this.
We ain't got to do that. You chilling or not? I'm coming, bro. All right, cool. That's it. The next section is from a deleted Redditor. I mean, some of these Reddits came out many years ago. So, but he says, "What happened to the box Tony gave the Cusimanos?" They went a little further to talk about it. May have came up like at the last episode or something like that, but I don't remember that.
I don't think anything major with that. I think Tony, because remember when he gave that box, he said, "I'm going to come back for this at some point," and I just think he came back for it off screen. Tony got his laugh, he had his moment, and then there was a moment he probably went over there. That would have been cool of the Sopranos to kind of. That happened what, season 1, 2? It was definitely first 2 seasons.
I think it was 1.
Yeah, it would have been cool.
It was Boca.
4.
I think it was Boca. Because he's talking about Wonder Bread Wops. He was trying to get in with the white folk, being Italian, and the other line was Junior and Boca. I think it was Boca. Yeah.
So it would have been cool if season 4 just wanders back over and says, "Hey, remember that package I gave you?" Just to, I don't know, maybe tie something like that in. That would have been funny. But I don't think anything major. I think he just, because who knows what was even in there? It was probably just some rocks.
Yeah, some rocks, sand, or something like, yeah. Yeah, that's a good. I'll go with what you say. I mean, they don't need a lot of attention, but that is an interesting mystery.
The real question is, all right, let's build upon this.
Okay.
I have been. The real question is, where did the Cusimanos hide it? Because they don't strike me as the type of people that's going to hide that in their house. And they don't know anything about their life, so they're going based off of movies. Do they get a storage locker for it? Do they go to that extent? Or
yeah, they might go storage locker.
Say, well, do we go storage locker? Because if Tony comes over and needs it right away, then we got to explain it. What if whatever's in there is important, and he gets mad at me for putting it in a storage locker? See, they probably got a
basement too, though.
They probably got a bunker.
Yeah, maybe a bunker, but they definitely got like a lower floor since the Soprano house does. They probably do too. They definitely got it downstairs somewhere.
They probably stressed out about where to hide that thing.
Oh, absolutely.
Just in case. Because that's the funny part about something like that, right? Being associated. You don't have any, and this is fascinating, because Tony Soprano, even though they live across the street from each other or they're neighbors, Tony has a legit reason for the feds to come to his door at any moment, right? Cusimanos don't, but now they think they do.
Yeah,
as a character, because this package that has nothing in it that nobody else knows about, they think all of a sudden that they're gonna be targets for the feds. Like,
you know how it is, bro. You might got a family member, a cousin, or you got a friend where it's like, bro, they've been known to get into some shaky things. They're like, hey, bro, I just need you to drop me off, and it's like the fact that I'm even with you and affiliated in some capacity, you're like side-eye and questioning, like, bro, I can't even do it because you may not even be on that, but because I know how you move, I can't even be affiliated right now, bro.
That just happened in a movie I just watched, Nickel Boys. It's actually nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Doing some Black Real Award stuff, and that just happened. Like, dude was just walking and got in the wrong car with somebody that's trying to help him out with a ride, and this is funny how that works sometimes.
Yeah, it really do. I was when I went to jail the first time I went, there was a guy in there, like he ended up in jail because he didn't know his friends was about to rob a convenience store. Yeah,
see, and Pops always told me, man, guilty by association. Like, even if you are in those situations, like I get he didn't know, but he knew the type of friends he had.
He ain't want to know.
No, right. Don't deny it again. I really can't. Hey, I'm not gonna hold you, man. Chasing is not bad.
I know it's not. I know it's not gonna be bad, bro. Like I've been thinking about it. I ain't watched it yet. I know it's not gonna be bad because the way Good Earners works, I said this is not gonna be a bad episode. Because our last bad one, we thought was bad was Camelot. I said this got to be light years ahead of Camelot because I felt this episode is horrible.
I feel like Camelot Camelot, Christopher, and some of those Dream, not the season 6A Dream episodes, but some of the other ones,
like the test dream,
Test Dream.
with
like those are the ones
you know
where
what
it's
you
like,
need to
all right,
do.
let's get up out of here.
Yeah,
let's get up out of here.
That was such a waste of time, bro. Like,
yeah, man.
You need all this to tell you that you got to kill your cousin. Tony could have got to that conclusion without that dream. Like, they were trying to be artsy, which I'm not mad at it because again, I don't like it, but Sopranos needs things like that because this show is more than a mafia show. And that's why the show works so well. This is not Godfather. This is not Scarface. This is not Goodfellas. This is upper echelon. Like, you compare this small screen to characters on the big screen, but it's even more complex. So yeah, they need stuff like that. The therapy is an elevation of a mafia show. The dreams are an elevation of a mafia show, in the family aspect as well. So you need that, especially back in '99. But it's just now when you at this point, it's like, okay, you realize it's like, okay, it's a little bit of the fat taken away from the protein a little bit, but it is what it is. Where does Harpo eat his Sunday dinners?
Hey, this is a fried ass question.
Yeah, somebody's just been stupid. Like
Harpo.
Well, I mean, he's a street
Harpo
person,
around?
so he's probably a shelter. That's
I
my
like to
guess.
think that Harpo got his life together. I don't think that Harpo has a family.
He got Janice in him, so he gotta have some kind of like. Yeah, who's Harpo's daddy would be the more interesting question.
He's French Canadian, wasn't he?
So yeah.
Yeah, man. So it's probably Harpo might be fucked. All due respect to the French Canadians out there. I'm not saying the way I said it might sound like I said that because of that, but I'm just saying, man. I just think like you don't know who your dad is. Yeah. Janice is your mom, and she left you.
And them traits are in there.
Just mentally, you might be fucked with those Soprano traits.
For sure.
You got 50% of them. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Harpo might not.
Putrid gene.
I don't even want to get morbid, man. But Harpo might have been gone.
Yeah. Well, Bobby just killed Harpo, right? No, I'm just playing. People always use that like, oh, that was Harpo. He was French Canadian.
That would be too easy.
That's too easy, but I kind of wish it was. Like, just on some like.
So all right. So stuff like that happens. It only works if you never address it, like the Russian.
Do you feel like that got addressed, the French Canadian?
No. What I'm saying is it could work. That theory could work that it is Harpo because they never addressed it, right?
Oh yeah.
It's when shows get in the later seasons. 96% of shows would take something like that. If that was really Harpo, they would take that and build a storyline around it.
Oh yeah,
it would build up to something.
Right.
And not saying that's not interesting because all right, so that theory is a lot. I mentioned Sons of Anarchy before.
Yeah.
Sons of Anarchy, entertaining show, great show, some of the most suspenseful TV you watch because as a viewer, you know a secret and you're waiting for the reveal. And all the stuff in between builds up and they do it well. But it's also everything kind of runs around this one moment. And a lot of times they kind of combine and it's fascinating, right? The last season wasn't the best, but it's really a good show. I say all that to say Sopranos isn't that type of show. It's superior television, right? So I couldn't see them trying to write this storyline in the final season, the final 9 episodes about Harpo when we don't have any vested interest in Harpo other than that one scene and maybe a mention in season 2 or whatever. So I like the idea that is Harpo and the fact that I just killed your son. I had no idea.
Bobby's first time killing somebody.
Stranger things have happened. Right. And most times, I know we mentioned the reveal, but a lot of times in life, more times than we think, I won't say a lot, but more times than we think, the reveal never happens. There's a lot of shit that just happens that never gets revealed. People go to their graves with it. And that just is what it is. Or they unknowingly did something. Like that would have been an unknowing situation. And it never get brought up because why would he talk about his business and why would Janice ever? Janice wouldn't look for Harpo
she wouldn't look for Harpo because if she wouldn't even be able to find him anyway, just because he's a street person.
Yeah. So unhoused, I think is the correct term, though.
How right? Oh, unhoused. It's unhoused now?
I don't know, man. I'm just giving you a hard time, but I think that is the
official. Wow.
I think that's the official PC term, unhoused.
Unhoused.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta stop. Yeah, I gotta stop. Y'all niggas is nuts. For real. Yeah, I gotta stop. Like, stop softening the blow. Like, stop. That's not the reality, bro. I'm just saying, like, y'all softening stuff, making it pretty. It's like, it's not pretty out here. It's not.
Shit.
The next one.
Oh man, you a funny dude.
Is Phil Leotardo gay?
I don't think he is, man.
I thought he was.
I know this isn't the first time this is. Yeah, I know this isn't the first time that this been mentioned, but I don't think he's gay. And we all know that there's things that go on in jail
line up that
make
it fit. Yeah.
But I never once thought that he was gay. I just Phil is just an angry old fuck, like just a dickhead of a human being.
So you've seen all of the evidence that lines up to it. How people got there?
In regard to, go ahead, lay it out.
All right. So people talk about when he
coming out the closet moment.
Coming out the closet, of course. When he whacked Vito.
You over the head with it.
When he whacked Vito, he was, kind of squeezing the cover with his hand. Like, some people thought, like, okay, is this like pleasurable or not?
Pause.
Squeezing the cover?
I paused. No, myself. I said, talking about slapping you over the head with it, and I just thought about it, like, whoa. I'm talking about when he was coming out the closet, like, whoa. That was a 10-second delay pause. Like,
oh, man. Hey.
Oh.
Mano. But, like, the squeezing the cover scene was like, some people like, oh, it's nerves. And some people, when he was sitting there watching Vito get basically beat to death, and he was squeezing the cover, and then obviously we know that they stuck a pool stick up his, so it's like that's off camera. So there's that. There's the, oh, honey, I'm too sweet. When he ordered something, I think he said, I'm too sweet. I'm sweet enough as it is, or something about. I don't know if he's getting sugar in a coffee or a dessert or something like that. But there was like that. There's the scene where his wife is talking to him and he don't have pants on, but he got his dress shirt on. Like, he don't wear the pants. There's like the compromise element of it all. It's like, compromise house this. And it's like, oh, Vito did 20 years in the can. There's a lot of little things. Like, when I'll send it to you if you want to get like to track, like, okay, because I was on the wave, like, you know what, I think Phil low key, that's why he was so disturbed by it. But then I've come off of that because I've also thought, well, you know what, he comes from a different era, and that's where the passion comes from. But there's definitely some, because even then, Phil could have done some like homosexual activity in jail, but in the words of Tony Soprano, well, you get a pass for that. And so, when you're talking to Melfi, so even then it's like, when he come out, hey, this is what it is. We ain't on that. So who knows? But I to answer the question, I don't think Phil Leotardo is gay, but I think they definitely pandered to certain things that really could line up with that theory or that mystery.
Nah, 100% true. I don't think he's gay either, and I'm gonna take the David Chase approach of it really wasn't that deep. Like, y'all looking too deep into it. So a lot of people who are known for this style of storytelling, your Jordan Peele's, your David Chase,
the Kendrick Lamar fans.
Yeah, just looking for some deeper meanings. Nah, that's a funny one, just because back at the beginning of I remember moments when people were saying this and this. Like, I remember recently there was one, like, he gonna drop an album on December 14th, because when you take this and add this,
they got Nation.
Yeah, and I'm like, hey, y'all, like,
y'all gotta stop.
Y'all gotta chill.
Like, I would have liked it more, but y'all ruined it for me, man.
There was a moment, and this is, I'm a Dot fan, but that shit was
yeah, of course.
But there's a moment in Entourage, when they were at Sundance, right? And James Cameron was there, and the woman, like, that was working the concessions was asking him, like, so the moment in Titanic, was this because of this or some kind of deep emotion? He's like, actually, I just wanted to make high school girls cry. Like, it ain't that deep all the time, right? It's not always some deep answer. I just wanted to do some funny shit, and that's what happened.
Yo, it be like that though, bro. You be just like you as a podcaster.
Yeah.
You and Ray P could just be, shooting the shit and having a conversation. But they're like, bro, what you gotta say right there, bro, that was real. Like it's blah, blah, and it'd be like, bro, we was just reminiscing for real. Like, but and that's how art works sometimes. Like the free flowing part of art, it'll resonate for people differently because I can't tell you how many times I've said something and somebody stops and what did you just say? Go back to what you just said. Bro, I'm just talking. You know what I mean? Like you've probably had that as well. It's like, bro, but that's how it worked. But anyway, go ahead. Go back to what you said.
No, that's those real life moments. So I said all that to say now David Chase does strike me as the type of person that would intentionally write those things for the conversation to be had just to deny it and say it was coincidence. There are a lot of coincidences, but I think that's people.
You think so?
It's like astrology. No, I think I think it's like astrology, right?
Yeah.
In the sense of, you know, people feel how they feel about astrology and horoscopes, but you read a horoscope and it's like, well, nigga, I could say this same passage. I could say it's for this person this day, and they gonna believe it. Like, you know what I mean? I think there's people that look at it from the sense of, well, since I'm already believing the premise of this is for me, so people are already believing the premise of Phil is gay. Now they're looking for all the little micro things and say, oh, see. Versus just naturally watching and being like, that's what people do, man. Some people walk around their crib with no pants on, like in their bedroom with their wife in the other room. Like sometimes that happens, and it ain't that deep.
That's true. Yeah, either it has meaning or it has no meaning.
Yeah, but he definitely was pounding shit out in jail.
Oh, yeah.
I don't buy the compromise in the radiator.
Yeah, like, you ain't compromised there, bro.
Oh, yeah, you was doing the grilled cheese on the radiator, but you wasn't jerking off in the napkin, bro. You had.
Yeah, you jacked off in the tissue. You was really trying to. All right, we ain't got there yet, but like, come on, I can't wait to get there. That's gonna be a funny.
You perping, bro. You trying to protect your image.
Like, all right, bro, knock it off, bro. That's why you're not Leonardo. No, I'm just playing.
Maybe never mind. Let me stop, bro.
We'll get there. I promise. When we get there, y'all know we gonna do true good earner style. Y'all know what we gonna do. All right. So now we're moving to this is from Darth Jew Baca 1138. Was Junior faking his dementia and really intended to shoot Tony? We have tiptoed around it. Let's just get it all out there. But no, this has been something that is still like I'm never 100% sure, but I'm a lot sure that I think he really does have dementia. But did he have it at that moment? I guess is maybe the question.
No. I mean, yeah, he did have dementia. Yeah, he didn't do that on purpose. I think Junior was really fucked up out here. I never once thought that, actually. Like from the time I first saw that episode and that scene to now, I've never thought that Junior was faking it. I thought that he really had a moment, and that's just what it is.
Was Livia? Maybe the better question is, was Livia faking it?
No, I mean, yeah, Livia's 100% faking it. There's nothing. Livia.
So you think the whole time when Livia started losing her memory, it was from the gate when she tried to whack her son and she realized he knew that she was behind it. She started faking it, and that's why Junior was upset. Like, what the was that? Like,
I feel some of it was probably real, but towards the end, it wasn't anything. Like, she knew what she was doing, man. Even when she was about to talk to the feds. Like all of that, man. She knew what she was doing. I think they would have used. We already spoke about how Nancy Marchand passed away, unfortunately, but they did have a storyline. The season 3 storyline changes, and obviously the tone changes because of her passing. But the story was supposed to be the trial with her kind of testifying against Tony. I do think they would have used her dementia as something to get Tony off.
Yeah.
But I think that it would have, I think she definitely knew what she was doing the whole time. Like that's man.
When Tony said, remember he said he said, you got the people fooled. You know, like you really could. You're really the boss. You know what I mean? Like he knew what it was. Like you just happen to be a woman, so it don't fit in this thing of ours. But Tony knew what's up. No, I think Junior really had dementia. I think he would go through great lengths of leaving the house and walking through the hood, talking to a crackhead and doing all of these things just to like be considered, you know, unaware. Like I definitely think he had it. So
Yeah, I definitely do.
Next one. Were things such as the deaths of Jackie Jr. and Adriana ever really exposed at some point after the show, especially to Carmela? I'm assuming do you think the truth actually came out ever to people that
Adriana?
or Adriana or Jackie Jr.? Because Jackie Jr. they say, oh, some black guys over a drug deal. Adriana, they say, oh, she left me, went away. Do you think it was ever revealed?
Nah, urban legends. There's multiple stories of what happened over time. I think people it starts off and you heard this and then like nah I heard that and whatever. Urban legends. I don't think that the truth ever comes out. I think they know, but they don't know.
Yeah.
Right? Because remember when
What Silvio look
Neto
like?
had the
Silvio look like telling anybody that he
yeah
whack Adriana?
yeah they don't talk they don't talk their business like that even amongst each other. Some things I think are even need to know basis within them. Like I'm sure Benny doesn't. I know Benny's not made, but no way Benny knows or even somebody like Eugene. Eugene wouldn't know about the Adriana hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's
That
for
was so
what?
close. That was so close knit. Tony,
Yeah,
Chris, Seal.
that's it. Just like Tony and Chris, the only ones that know about Ralph.
Yeah.
Everybody knows, but they don't know.
Yeah.
So
And then Jackie Jr. So Ralph called the hit on Jackie Jr. But even then, I think the mafia knew because Seal was like, he's in
Tony called the hit
he's in
on
Boonton. Like
Tony called the hit on Jackie Jr. He used Ralph as the proxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which had to be
Trying
a
to
lot
distance
for
himself
Tony.
away.
Had to be a lot for him because how much he loved Jackie Senior. Okay. Was Little Carmine playing idiot the whole time? Was he planning on assuming power after Phil? I'm gonna leave it there. Spoiler here. Possibly. So y'all, if y'all want to fast forward up 2 minutes.
Cutting into their time. With the dramatic pause.
My bad. So I was asking you.
2 minutes past the pause. Oh,
So is he playing idiot or
no,
was he
I
really
think
idiot?
no. Once again, I never really thought of Carmine Jr. Really gave him too much thought past anything after Cleaver, or even once he got to Cleaver, I just thought Carmine is just a different type of character. Once the war ended with John Sacramone, I just felt like he just kind of played the reserve, and obviously he's known as the idiot or gets the idiot trope. But I do think he was smarter because of something you brought up and just that whole conversation, him actually knowing what he was doing. And I think that I don't think he had any desire to get back in power or take over. I think that for anybody out there who's watched House of Cards or any kind of political show of that sense, Succession, shows like that, when you realize the power is the people that select these people, not the actual person in the seat. Right? So being the president isn't the power. It's the person that's selecting and making the moves to make sure you're the president and got the president's ear. The oil company CEO or whatever the case may be, that kind of person. And I think little Carmine looks at himself like that. Because the person in power is always gonna get their head taken off. Next to the person in power, I can just swoop in to the next person and be like, all right, then this is what it is. And just kind of play the background. So I think he's definitely smarter than what people give him credit for. Or maybe I think that's caught up over all the years. I think people have now caught up to Carmine was smart. I don't think he's looked at as a goof as maybe in the first few years of the show ending.
Yeah.
But that's my thought. I want to hear what you got to say.
I may agree. I think he is smarter than what people believe he is. I think Carmine, he here's the more interesting part to me is like, what is his specialty? Because he's smarter than we believe he's smarter than what people think. So it's like, where is his smart at exactly? Because one of the things he's not smart at is when he gets to speaking, he references things, but he never knows the full reference, and then he speaks with vocabulary that he don't always know. But there are some things about him that would put him in a space of being smart when he plays things. And I do think that he genuinely wasn't trying to be a boss because of the story he told Tony. He had to tell Tony that story about his wife, saying, I don't want to be the richest widow. You know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like he ain't owe Tony that. And he talked down to Tony, to his dad at one point because of Johnny Stack. So I don't feel like he needed to do that, but I feel like that was his reality at that point. So I do think he's smarter. The question more so is, where is his specialty in the smarts that he has? Okay.
That's facts.
Who put the alleged hit on Tony? Was it Little Carmine?
Which one are we talking about?
You know what? I'm gonna leave this alone. This is probably tying into Married in America.
Okay.
So I feel like that's something I would like to talk about after.
Oh yeah, that's definitely, we can say we only got a few more weeks. Yeah.
Okay. Did they ever find a cure for fuckface-itis?
Y'all know how I feel about Mikey, man.
Hey, I love Mikey Paul.
I wish we had more time with Mikey Palmisi.
Who recruited Mike between you and Spike?
I did. Definitely.
Was he consigliere?
Mikey's. I can't remember what he was, but I definitely remember.
He was like definitely top 5, probably.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Mike was a rising star.
Okay.
Mikey was a rising star. He needed the right leadership.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot in our early seasons. Like, bro, we really like Mikey Palmisi. You know what
he's a doofus though. He's a jackass, but
he definitely is. But he's a well dressed jackass.
Yeah, he's a Ralphie obviously was the best earner. He's got Ralph vibes to him, but he's not off the chain like Ralph. He's just kind of those, like, you just get this natural douche kind of demeanor about you, but I think you know what you're doing. If you can get past that, he's the person that you cool with him, but you can't spend too much time with him. You know your limit of when I got to get out the room with this dude because he's gonna get mad annoying.
Yeah.
Some people you can just be around. Sil, I'm sure you can just lounge around the Bing, or set your house and just chill. Sil gonna mind his business, have his coffee. Mikey always gonna be telling some story and some other bullshit.
Focusing on negativity.
Yeah, like what's your name? What's your man? They sent back Feach. Like, he's always got a story to tell and remember when, all that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, but shout out to Mikey, man. Shout out to Mikey Palmer.
Yeah, we like Mikey a lot. Did either one of y'all recruit Feach?
Nah, I don't think Feach was a part of it because I think when we did it, I don't think Feach was a part of it.
I feel like it was.
I'm about to go back and listen.
That might be an interesting listen, like to see what the draft was like. You know what I mean? Or maybe you got some notes somewhere. That might, if you don't want to listen, maybe just look at what you had noted. That might be, But I feel like
I was just looking through them because I was clearing out some notes. I might have deleted it, but it still might be in my recently deleted.
But your recycling bit. But yeah, I definitely think neither one of y'all picked Feach. I feel like we gave Feach a lot more love than most podcasts do. I feel like for what we had Feach for like 4 episodes, and I feel like we gave a lot more. We gave a lot more for Feach. All right, and these are kind of the last ones we'll get into for this time. Of course, we could do some more Soprano mysteries, and we can come up. We got original mysteries of Sopranos that we can bring to the forefront as well. But in this moment, we're going with kind of what's online, some things. I didn't put everything here because everything wasn't worth bringing up at this current moment. But this is coming from thethings.com. All right. Now, some stuff may not be revealed. Maybe this is a spoiler, so if y'all want to skip up 2 minutes, go for it. Was Agent Harris a secret ally the whole time? Parentheses. Did he orchestrate plots to help Tony over the years?
I'm gonna say no, and here's the reason why. Why would Agent Harris do that? Because he'd have to get. I could see if it was a transactional relationship, right? I think Tony and that code, they're not working for the feds. Like, maybe there's a throw a bone here and there type of situation, but actually working the things that Agent Harris would need in return, I don't think Tony would ever do. I think he would just keep it what it is. It's just it gets too Not that it's surprising if anybody's seen like The Departed and things like that. Like, if you reach a certain level, you can be an informant and they still let you run your racket and do all this other stuff because you're giving up other criminals and that's part of your condition. So is it possible? Yeah. But do I see it happening? No. I just don't think that. I think Tony, as much as he bends, I know they bend the rules more than the Catholic Church. But I think that's one thing working with the feds. And even then, I think even now, as we're getting towards the end, you start seeing that being questioned. Right? With Agent Harris pulling up at his crib when he goes down to get the paper, and, asking him questions, have you seen anything about this or that? Like him actually starting to consider certain things of let me start reaching out and saying something. That's usually something they would never do. They already have an odd relationship, and it's kind of a mutual thing. That's a fascinating relationship always in the
that
Sopranos
is,
world to
I've
look
seen
at.
YouTube videos with YouTubers that do Soprano content, and it still never makes sense. Like they do an excellent job of trying to break it down, and it still never makes sense. For me, the only way the relationship makes sense is that it all began much earlier. Like I can't validate none of that, but if their relationship began much earlier, then yeah. But like outside of that, I'll never fully understand. But I mean, Agent Harris was an ally to Tony, obviously in this season 6B, which when we get there you'll see. But did he orchestrate
We'll talk
plots
about
to?
that more too.
Yeah, he didn't know. I don't think he orchestrated plots to have Tony over the years because I don't feel like
Nah,
he
I
was
don't
an
think it was
ally
anything like
before
that.
that. I feel like he was. I feel like he had some decency. Because maybe Agent Harris is Italian American. Maybe I don't know, but like he had some decency dealing with Tony. He was like, hey, look, we'll grab you from
There's a
your poop.
respect.
Some
There's a
respect there,
respect thing of
which
what
you
you
really didn't have
do,
to
and
have.
yeah, I think there's a respect of this is my job and I take it seriously. Almost like Heat, right? The famous coffee shop scene or the diner scene in Heat, like where they see, remember Pacino's character pulled him over. He pulled over De Niro. Let's have a cup of coffee. Like if I was really about that right now, I'm gonna take you in. If I was really just about the parade of it, but there is a certain mutual respect that I've been chasing you,
Yeah,
and one of the few times in my entire career, like you've been eluded. I have nothing to. I'm sure everybody's watched enough crime shows to know they always have that meeting with the DA. Is this actually something that can stick? Can we take this to trial? All of that stuff.
yeah.
I don't have anything on you, but I know it's you. Let's have a real man to man, professional conversation. I don't know how to do anything else. Neither do I. Like that whole thing. So I think there's that respect of we both are the same person, just on different sides of the coin. And I
Yeah.
just want you to know, as much as I respect what you do and what you bring to the table, if it came down to it and it's between me and you,
Yeah, it's gonna be you.
yeah, always. So I think that's just what it is on a very lighter scale than those two.
I like that. Yeah, I'm with you. The next one, who? Spoiler alert. Another 2 minutes for y'all. Who became the leader of the Lupertazzi family after Phil?
That's a great question. I don't know. I don't think we met him.
You don't think it was Butchie?
No, hell no. Remember, well, I think
Carmine?
no.
Somebody we
Somebody we
don't
don't
know.
know. Somebody from the Bronx or
Okay.
something else.
That may be the right answer. Like somebody in New York, because they were whacking off a lot of their people. Like between,
oh.
they're getting rid of a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Only reason I think Butchie,
He
without
wanted to
stepping
be
on
a
it too much, when you
consigliere.
figure out, nah, not even that, because of what. Remember, there was a certain meeting that Butchie took, and I think that gets found out about. I think that gets found out about. I
That's
don't
fair.
think Tony. I think Tony probably somebody. Let's move on
Okay,
because I'm
that's
gonna
fair.
start getting the Made in America, and then there's too many things.
Okay, here's another mystery. Is anyone else capable of leading the Soprano family?
Am I looking at that like right now, or once everything's said and done? I
Let's
guess
say,
the answer is
yeah, let's.
leading. Nah. Tony, remember
The era
Tony
plays a heavy part.
Remember this entire time Tony's been looking for who's going to take over. How can I?
So no Bobby, no. Well, obviously we seen Sil couldn't handle it.
Yeah, nah, I don't see anybody. Like Vito might have been a good Vito when he was making a run. We make fun of him, but Vito would have been.
I told you, I said Vito would be a good one.
Yeah, because you don't need to be tough.
Super,
you need to be able
super
to
low
be
key.
respected and put shit down.
Patsy, I feel like Patsy.
Nah, they ain't gonna respect him. You gotta have respect in New York.
No.
Yeah, you do. You need that.
Not to run the Jersey crew. Not to run the Jersey crew.
Not to run the Jersey crew, but to really make some noise. Like, nigga,
well, make the noise, yeah, but like that's something that you can figure out how to finesse. I got somebody on my behalf that goes to New York that maybe they respect more, but like I feel like Patsy is a possibility. Like he's the most one of the most solid characters. You know, behind
Benny.
You said Benny?
I'm talking shit, bro. No, not Benny. I don't think so.
What about before he died, Gigi?
He just ain't. He couldn't sell it, man. I don't think he got enough moxie.
He didn't have enough moxie. What about Richie?
Richie could have, yeah, 100%. It would have been fucked up. He could have ran it.
Yeah, Richie could have ran it. Phil, I mean, Ralph.
Yeah, Ralph, it would have been successful. Once again, it would have been fucked up because people would have took out the whole crew because of Ralph. But yeah, they definitely would have. That shit would have been like when Scar was running.
I gotta send you something, bro. There was something that I don't know if you know about the dude that does the investigation. Like he watched stuff, he did the voiceovers.
Yeah,
have you ever noticed?
Pixar shit.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed? I can't believe I missed this. And he was talking about like how the ancestors went with Simba. That's why it was dark over the Pride Land. He said when he came back, that's why it was light back in the Pride Land because the ancestors went with Simba. So like, bro, it was so deep. I was like, oh man, I
love those pages.
Yeah, I'll send it to you, bro. Like I love like me and my wife. We just love that like people just you will love it more than anybody because you're so detail oriented. You're gonna love it more than anybody. But yeah, I'll send you some stuff.
Thanks, man. But no, that's an interesting thing. But I don't. Like I said, Scar. That's Ralphie running the crew with be Scar running the Pride Lands.
So let's try to figure out who is the best candidate, if not Tony. Is it Ralph? Who's better, Ralph or Vito?
Vito Vito would be better.
Okay, is there anybody that is? What about Richie or Vito?
Vito's it. Vito's a choice.
Okay, all right.
Because he has the relationships. He knows how to earn. Like Vito knew how to work with people.
Mm-hmm.
Like before everything got found out. And he Phil's his cousin. He connected in the right way. He got the right nepotism. Like it would have been perfect.
It sucks because we found out Sil couldn't. Because Sil obviously would have been our number one if we didn't find out he had to make us a varsity athlete.
Yeah, so, man, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. A few more before we get out of here, y'all. What happened to Caitlin, Meadows' roommate? I think we found out she went to Oklahoma, maybe college out there.
She was from Oklahoma.
Oh, she's from Oklahoma.
God bless her. That's all I got to say about Caitlin, man. I hope she's doing all right.
Yeah, bro. Anyway,
that's all I got to say about
I ain't gonna even. Okay.
God bless.
What was that about? Paulie and the Virgin Mary encounter at the Bada Bing. Another Soprano mystery.
Was that the episode? I'm trying to think what happened in that episode.
I think it was the episode where Paulie he cut corners. He didn't get them. They were doing
the same episode.
I think it is.
Ride?
Yeah. Oh, the ride?
With the ride getting messed up?
With the ride getting messed up. Yeah, the ride getting messed up.
Bobby was at his neck.
Yeah.
I just think that was something spiritual that happened because he was.
Paulie's very superstitious too. Very superstitious.
Yeah, I don't really know too. I think we've all had those moments where we just kind of like, am I seeing things? Am I hearing things? Like, am I tripping?
Yeah.
I think that's just that might have represented his guilt. And we all know what it's like to when we know we about to do something bad, like we shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it's cool when you don't get caught or doing whatever, but when you get caught, you just kind of knew it's like, damn, I knew better than this. I knew better. I knew I shouldn't have done this.
I knew I shouldn't have. Yeah. Okay. I got one more here, and then we're welcome to throw something else out there on the personal tip that you just are curious about. We even got to have an answer. What was Furio up to?
What do you mean?
He went back. You just feel like he just backed in them.
Like, what is he up to now?
Yeah, like
or after he
like
went
after
back?
Yeah, after he went back.
He's out of the life. He's not in his home city, for sure. He had to get low because Tony made reference that he got people over there looking for him. Now, could that have
Tony
just been
really
something Tony
said?
I was just about to say, could that have been something Tony just said to fuck with Carmella?
Yeah, he just.
I think Tony might have been talking because I don't know if Tony's reach goes that far.
It don't.
Pause. Let's see. I don't think because there's still too many questions. There's still too many questions of you. If you go home, why are you back? If you lie and they find out that's not the truth, you fucked up. If they find out exactly why you are back, even though you didn't do anything wrong, remember his uncle told him, bro, like, what the fuck is you doing?
Yeah, yeah.
What you on, bro? So Furio is living in some like cottage. Think of the opening scene in Inglourious Bastards. Some kind of cottage like that. All one wide room. He's got a wife. Maybe a couple little jits. They living out in the middle of nowhere in Italy. He's making his own wine. You know what I mean? He's a lover boy, man. He's a lover boy at heart. So. Yeah, he's a lover boy at heart.
Yeah. I like it.
But it's got the premise for one of those movies, like Shooter, or they got the new movie coming out now, where you got the kind of unsuspecting dude, and then something happens. Somebody comes and gets his family. So now you got to go John Wick on everybody. I can see Furio doing that. That's a franchise they could have made.
Like Taken type too.
Yeah, now you come from hiding. Like that could have been like Cleaver, like a Cleaver version. Like
exactly.
Furio could have been the one that killed his family, and now he come out of hiding. Now his whole goal is to take out the Soprano crew, man. Top of the head, y'all. Boom.
I like it. Yeah, Furio.
3 pictures right there, man. That's a trilogy right there.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like your label boy, you're in the scope right now. Anything you want to bring here, just a mystery of yours that was just something that's just unanswered. It's like, because I've seen stuff where like, what did AJ hear that time when he was in the house and he thought he heard something and we heard the sound with him, but we never seen anything. That's one of those mysteries. I'm trying to think of some other ones that like occur. What happened to the Russian? Obviously, we've heard like on Talking Soprano what they had written before they just scrapped it. I just try to see, is there any mystery that you've always wondered about? Like, did this or didn't this happen? Like another one is Melfi. Why didn't we theorized why Melfi didn't tell Tony, but that's always still a mystery nonetheless. What actually happened with Finn and Meadow? What broke it off officially? Like what happened?
We'll get into it after this next episode we do. I kind of tossed around the idea before we landed on doing these questions. I tossed around the idea to you of 5 years later, like it's 2012. What's going on in Jersey? And a small thing is what's going on with Vito Jr., man. Like did Camp get Vito Jr. together?
Like the boys?
Nah, is he okay now? Do you remember what happens in the next episode with Vito Jr.?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to go to camp. Like I want to Vito straighten up. Like is he
he's
still acting up, or is he straightening up the camp? Still like did they beat it out of him? Did they do whatever?
Yeah. Now they got him together.
Yeah, so stuff like that, man. I don't know.
Tons of stuff like this.
See, I really want to talk to you about something, but I can't.
Oh,
I'm gonna say this. We
okay.
can't really talk about it, but I'm gonna say this, and we just don't get into it.
Okay.
It's gonna spoil. I'm not even gonna say the character. I'm not even gonna say the character that says this. We kind of. Well, I'm not gonna say that either. We're gonna win this thing. We'll talk about it when we get there. I think it's very simple. I just think it's maybe something we talked about already.
That's why.
But it's just funny.
That's why the person had that question. Like,
yeah,
is this new or is it not new? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I will say this. One of my favorite Soprano moments. How the fuck did dude know all that shit about Paulie? When Paulie went to go see, yes, the psychic. But that shit was insane.
That's a good one.
And I know some people believe in the psychic, but that was, imagine that happening in real life.
Because you know, normally they say there's like a technique to like how they get there based on what you share and how they build. Bro, I did something like this when I was in college on campus. Like I was reading people's lives just because I could pick up context clues. And people thought I really like had some like
Hold on.
Y'all really don't know me, bro.
Hold on,
I have the same riches.
Hold on, man. Hold on.
I don't know why I said that out loud.
You were reading people's lives. What does that mean? Like you
see, you posted up on campus. We posted up on the bricks, and sitting out there, whatever. Friends that come by, and I'm chopping it up with them. Like, bro, I bet I could tell. I could probably tell you what happened to your life. And they're like, okay. And so somehow I can't even remember. It's so long ago now. We talking like what 09, 2010. Well, actually like 2010. So
this nigga Mo is
I know.
of a kind.
Yeah, bro.
I wish Spike was here for this. I wish Spike.
I know he gonna be like, yo, this man is crazy. What's wrong with this?
He definitely would have done. Like, hold on. You want to? Hey, you know what I'm about to say? You want to run that by me
one more time?
Yeah, man. Come on.
Hey, matter of fact, come on Friday, bro. I got more questions.
Yeah, we might have to revisit this next week.
Nah, for sure. But yeah, it's so crazy. But yeah, I guess for now, man, that is our, I guess I call it our part one. It won't be in the title, but that's our part one of Soprano Mysteries. We will get into more mysteries, more unanswered questions, more theories, I guess, if you want to attach it to this. Big Rich Town, anything you want to give the listeners on this episode or anything moving forward before we get out of here today?
All I'm gonna say is we have 6 episodes left. I know Chasing It is not like the most esteemed episode, but it's gonna be a very entertaining episode. I can tell you that as after watching the episode earlier this week. It's gonna be a very entertaining, good earners episode. And I will say, and I said this to Spike and Mo, I don't know if I said this on the pod. The last 5 episodes are all going to be made, in my opinion. I have a prediction that we're going to sweep maids between all 3 of us for the last 5 episodes. I don't think anybody's going to
the names of the last 5? Do you know?
Yeah. Let me. Actually, I should be able to do this off rip.
Oh, that's gonna be dope. This is after Chasing It, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
Kennedy and Heidi.
No, Kennedy and Heidi is not after Chasing It.
Well, I'm not in order, but I'm just saying. Not in order.
Walk like a man.
Walk like a man.
It's a Walk Like a Man. Yeah, that's all right. So Walk Like a Man is after Chasing It.
Okay.
Kennedy and Heidi's after that.
Okay.
I can't remember the third one. The one in between. That's the one where Coco.
Yep. Yeah.
Meadow, and then you have Blue Comet and Made in America. What's the name of the one in between?
I really want to know this by heart for some reason. Like.
Yeah, so I always get that one messed up. I'm gonna look it up, and you can, if you want to give it a guess, you can. Otherwise, I'll say it.
Walk Like a Man, Kennedy, Heidi. Maybe it's a song title. I don't know. What is it?
Second Coming.
Oh,
the Second Coming. Oh
yeah.
But anyway, I think all 5 of them are gonna be maids across the board. I think we'll sweep maids on those.
Yeah, but then
just my prediction. I don't know.
Put Spike in the equation. This man, what did we just do? He didn't give a maid.
He did something else. Wild.
He gave a maid to an episode that I was like, I think it was
I gave a
stage
good
5.
earner to something. He gave it a good earner to.
He stage 5. I think
stage
he
5.
gave.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Okay, so who we don't know. He's a wild card, so we're gonna see.
You're right. You're right. Spike
You never
gonna
know.
stand 10 toes on his decision. You're right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it as well. Like you said, 6 episodes to go. We're gonna have a good time. Hopefully, this Back of the Bing was something good for y'all that have already seen the series and then even y'all that haven't seen the series, y'all may have been caught up with us. We talked more about things that have already happened and things that are coming. So hopefully, I've enjoyed it. I really do enjoy doing these episodes just because there's so much lure and so much content to talk about still with the Sopranos. Like we doing it in episodic format, but there's so much more outside of that. And I love that we get to do this together. And I hopefully look forward to when we can do it as a trio back at the Bings and open up that Patreon and start getting into the mafia movies on the side of this thing. But
yeah, man, because I know we got to do Many Saints of Newark.
Gotta do that.
So we'll figure all that stuff out. But yeah, that's about it.
You need the good earners. You need the good earners flavor on like all your mafia movies. Like I think at this point, what the flavor that we provide, y'all need that flavor on every type of movie review in this lane. Like I think at that point, I think it's safe to say. But yeah, y'all reach out to us, goodearnerpod@gmail.com. Also reach out to us on Instagram, goodearnerpod_Sopranos. DM us, leave a comment on YouTube. We'll read your stuff on live. To all our supporters of ours that emailed us, we will be getting back to those the following week when our brother Spike Lewis back. We thank y'all for tuning in truly as we get on this countdown. And remember, don't forget about it.